So far in the FIBA World Cup, Team USA has won all 3 of their exhibition games, including a win over Spain, who was originally ranked higher than Team USA. Spain was also the team that won the last FIBA World Cup back in 2019, while Team USA had their worst performance ever, coming in 7th place. This year though, they're looking to reclaim the gold. You might think I'm speaking too soon after just 3 exhibition games, but if you watched the game against Spain, you would know nothing about that was an exhibition. There were moments where they weren't going as hard, but for the most part, it was a very competitive game. Both teams have a real chance of winning the gold and know they'll probably see each other again. I went in depth about the game against Puerto Rico in my Team USA breakdown video, but getting a blowout win in Game 1 was a very good sign. Then to get another 30-point win over Slovenia without Luka showed they were legit. But to get a win over Spain in Spain is a big deal, exhibition or not. That crowd was louder than an away playoff game.
Still 7 to shoot. The 3. Johnson trying to get the U.S. on.
If they can play through that, then they can play through anything. This was also literally the day after playing against Slovenia. They got that win coming off a back-to-back. The team is playing very good. People questioned this roster going in, but they all played together perfectly. And that's on offense and defense. The same guys that are getting buckets on offense are also playing great defense. In FIBA tournaments like these, you'll often see dudes play more passive or completely change their game. But this USA roster hasn't changed at all. Tyrese Halliburton is still throwing out assists like he's Rondo, Anthony Edwards is going at everybody in the paint, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is the defensive player of the year no matter what league he's playing in. This team really wants to win, and you can see that just by watching one game. You almost forget how young the team is by the way they handle themselves. Somebody on the team will always step up in a big moment. When something needs to happen, nobody is waiting on anyone. They all want that clutch moment. And since the team doesn't play together all year around like some of these other countries do, they don't have a very structured offense, which does show at times, but they're getting better at it every game. However, this leads to them wanting to create fast break opportunities so they don't even have to set anything up. The whole team is running down the court after every rebound, and it turns into points almost every time. They're not just leaking out either. Honestly, the entire team goes for rebounds. The shortest dude on the team led them in rebounds against Puerto Rico. Everybody goes at every board, whether it's on offense or defense. People thought Brandon Ingram was going to be the star for this team going in, but I think everyone underestimated how good the rest of the team was going to be. Jalen Brunson has been playing the point at a high level every game, and Anthony Edwards is always there to create something out of nothing. I really liked Jalen Brunson when he was on the Mavericks, so to see what he's doing now is just awesome. And Anthony Edwards is the definition of a dog. He really reminds me of a smaller Zion. He's one of those dudes that can score in basically every way possible. Triple J is the defensive anchor, and Mikal Bridges is literally doing everything on both sides of the floor. I'm not saying Brandon Ingram is bad either. Honestly, in 3 games, I feel like nobody has really had a bad game. It feels like everyone comes in and does their part. And that includes everyone that's coming off the bench. Tyrese Halliburton coming off the bench with shooters like Austin Reeves and Cam Johnson was a genius move. They all come in and bring a completely different energy than the starting lineup. Then add cutters like Paolo and Bobby Portis and you have a really strong lineup. Walker Kessler and Josh Hart don't get the most minutes, but both of them provide in their own ways. I also cannot stress enough how good the coaches for this USA team are. All 3 of the NBA coaches have won at least one championship, and Mark Few is one of the most successful college basketball coaches of all time. The team is playing great and the coaches are as good as it gets, so I do have a lot of hope. Spain was originally ranked the #1 team, but they definitely feel it after losing Ricky Rubio. You might not think he's a very big deal, but for that team, he's their guy and has been with them since he was literally a kid. But Ricky was replaced by 19-year-old Juan Nunez, who actually played pretty well. A lot of Spain players did. It was close throughout the whole game, and the refs weren't very good either. They were just inconsistent and had some calls that really just made no sense. But I thought overall the team handled it pretty well. They haven't been the best 3-point shooting team, but shot 10 of 18, which turned out to be huge for them. Jalen Brunson was literally perfect from the field, shooting 9 for 9, and he set the tone from the very first shot of the game. He had 16 points in the first half alone and even ended the game with 5 assists. Jaren Jackson played well on both ends of the floor, ending with 14 points and 3 blocks. Mikal Bridges scored 12 points, while Anthony Edwards, Brandon Ingram, and Austin Reeves all had 11. Yet another game where multiple players on the team have over 10 points. Also, Tyrese Halliburton had 12 assists again. That would be the second time in 3 games. He had exactly 12 assists in the first game against Puerto Rico. The whole team is just fun to watch. I said it in my last video, but at times it really does feel more like an all-star game than it does a World Cup game. They're passing the ball and just having fun, and that's been resulting in some pretty big wins. They play again on August 18th versus Greece at 12 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to be an early game for the East Coast and an even earlier game for the West Coast. But there will always be highlights to the game, and I will be making more videos like this one, because the games only get earlier from here on out. After the last 2 exhibition games, they move on to pool play. That starts on August 26 at 8:40 a.m. Eastern. Then 2 days later, they play against Greece at the exact same time. Then the game against Jordan has to be the worst time for a game probably ever. A Wednesday at 4:40 a.m. West Coast viewers might be able to make that work, but I'm probably gonna have to check the highlights. Either way, I'll be watching the other games to make more videos like these. So please subscribe to support the channel and like the video for the YouTube algorithm. Comment down below what you think about the team, and I'll see you in the next one.